makes your day.
Hey, out of the way. Get up, kid. Redbarradio.net/Scars Club. Thank you to everyone who signed up. Please keep this all going. Please.
Well, while you're talking about this, you should cover the news about Twitter super follows because this
super
is
follows
easy.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to do some fun. Give me some little one, nice and fun, nice and funny, someone we can make fun of because I got a lot of complaining about NFTs.
Instagram video.
Yeah, we could watch that real quick. Crowder with his fake, phony, lying thespian. It's thespian. I always thought it was thespian with a B. Jules, did you know that?
No, it's
thespian. It's P. Why? Why is all the other lesbian is not with a P, right? Lesbian. Lesbian. Thespian. Thespian. I learned this on Spell Correct or Spell Check the other day. You know, Crowder put out this video. I left a comment on this video. I said, you know, don't forget, Crowder is an actor. He is a thespian. I couldn't believe I was saying thespian. I still think I'm doing something wrong. He's a thespian, first and foremost. This is an act. So every 3 months or so, Steven Crowder drums up really dramatic, remarkable stuff like this to get everybody to tune in. And then every time you tune in, it's usually some convoluted nonsense that you can't really understand. It's usually some bit or some segment, you know, I'll say, I could get killed for telling you this. We're going to get banned. Oh, after today's show, we're probably going to be banned. Tune in today. This could be our last show. And then you tune in and it's never adds up to it. You can't understand what he's even saying. And I think what he does is he does that on purpose. He knows his fans. They're going to fall for it every time. Then they're going to tune in and they're not going to understand. And there's this new thing going on that's really sick. It's happening with Bitcoin and NFT and GameStop, where instead of being outed as a Luddite and somebody who doesn't understand what's going on, you just pretend you do understand and you join the mob, even though nothing does make sense, but you don't want to be the person saying, wait a minute, I don't get it, because they'll go, oh, then you just don't, you're not up to speed on the internet. You're out of it. And no one wants to be that. That's what's happening with this NFT nonsense. We're going to talk about that. That's what's happening with the GameStop. Nobody wants to, everybody's like, wait a minute, doesn't GameStop have to actually like turn their company around for this to work? We just can't all buy into it, right? They forgot about this. All the GameStop people who were bitching about their losses, this was a meme investment, a Reddit joke investment from this joke Reddit group. It was a meme, a trick. You invested in it. All of a sudden you forgot, like, oh yeah, GameStop has to reopen their stores and start selling the games again in order for you to remember, like, investing in something kind of depends on the company's success. They forgot. And they didn't want to be looked at as stupid or missing out, so they all invested in GameStop, even though it was a joke investment. Those investments, what did you think was going to happen? GameStop was going to all of a sudden build skyscrapers of GameStop, where every floor was a GameStop store and they were going to blow
for
up?
the guys who are into it, but
yes.
Once it already made the news, isn't that a sign for
then
everybody
it's
who knows
over.
about stocks
Now it's going to go
like,
down.
Isn't it supposed to make money for the guys who got in at the beginning, not the guys who bought it at $350?
So to hear Tim Dillon go, I lost all this money. Did you think the company was going to turn around and become a success after it's like got 2 stores left and they're filing for bankruptcy? What did you think was going to happen? So we've got a lot of that going on, and Crowder's fans are the best at this, where they don't want to question Crowder, even if it doesn't make sense, because then they'll look like they're uninformed or out of the loop. And he uses them. Now he knows it works. So every 3 months, he'll do something like this. Look at this video he puts up. This is sick. Crowder's our new guy. Oh,
my firearms, but I love my family.
Look at this. It starts out.
Firearms, but I love my family. I would never use them to do any.
All right, so it starts out, and he's in sepia tone, folks. He's doing some processing here. This is Western style tombstone sepia tone. He's sitting here in a hot and sweaty saloon. All right? A swinging door, tombstonic saloon. He's got his etched mug club giant. You could make a family-sized stew in this mug club mug. I couldn't even lift this thing if my heart depended on it. He's got a bottle of bourbon in one of these decanters. I thought about that. Some people go, Mike, why don't you get a decanter on your show? Because of people like him. You know who else does a decanter? That redheaded sleaze who we don't hear from much. Santino. Andrew Santino's got a decanter.
I missed him. Someone posted some of his TikToks, so I thought we could go over his
Oh,
TikToks
good.
today because his podcast is like so boring.
I thought by now Andrew Santino's podcast would be finished. It is the most boring, false, phony, nothing experience in existence. And again, it's like they've tricked this audience into tuning. We can't even hate watch the show. It's that boring.
I would love to watch it, to hate watch it.
Yeah, but we can't.
It's so, like, try to watch one even if it's like the best, most exciting guest you can think of. It's just nothing. It's as if it's an hour of silence.
Yeah.
That's how much it impacts me.
So he's got a decanter. Steven Crowder's got a decanter. Let's take a drink with Steven. I know Steven doesn't really drink, but he likes doing everything a man is supposed to do. So there is a checklist in the studio that goes down, okay, these are all the things a man is supposed to do. Let's make sure I don't accidentally reveal that I'm gay. He's got his table here. And this is a table where, have you ever seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where they're shooting Leonardo DiCaprio's little Western movie at the table? It's the same table. So here he is, and he's got 3 girl handguns. Here, I don't like any of these handguns. I know you guys think these are the best ones. They're not. 3 girl handguns, a snub nose, a little tiny thing. You know, you probably think this one's really good. I don't like guns, by the way, that look like, did we talk about this? Cop weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
You like the Romeo and Juliet.
I like a real scary looking Mexican looking weapon. I don't like anything that looks like a cop's weapon. That's lame. That's cityized.
We need some aesthetic.
So here's Crowder, and he's sweating. He's under the heat lamps, and he's going to do this scam to his viewers. And not one person has the guts or the brain in his comments to say, I don't know, this sounds like they just believe anything that comes out of his mouth. And this is what came out of his mouth. Watch this.
Any harm, particularly to myself, after we do today's show on voter fraud. We've stumbled across some things. It's the first time I've had chills go down my spine. So we're double checking a couple more. We'll be a half hour late at 10:30 Eastern. It specifically relates to what we did last week with voter fraud, and then a little more digging and some scary stuff. So if anyone ever tells you that something happened to me, I didn't do it myself.
Okay. That's the big dramatic lie that nobody could see through. If anything happens to me, I didn't do it to myself. He's done this so many times. Today we might get banned. Today we might get sued. And then you tune in and it's nothing. We watched the episode. It turned out that this person that he accuses of voter fraud, you know, they've got it really backwards. This isn't a political statement. This is just what I've noticed. They're confused with this whole there's no voter fraud. What they mean by there's no voter fraud is they mean it wasn't enough to sway the election. Now, every election has voter fraud. Every election has, this person entered in the wrong address. This person doesn't live here. Crowder has found 7 people so far in 4 months where it doesn't line up.
He's doing this thing where he's checking the voter addresses in different states and then sending one of his guys to go to the homes where the people live and go up to their apartment buildings and being like, does this person live here? No, they don't. Got it.
Voter fraud. So it's like, no. What the FBI and all these people who looked into it when they said there's no voter fraud, they mean there wasn't enough to swing the election. They didn't mean there's not 6 people who entered in the wrong
some margin of error
info. So, but these people will be like, no voter fraud? Well, then explain this. This woman lives on 222 East Broadway, but the records say she voted from 222 West Broadway. And you're going, that's not what they mean. But their whole audience now is, all convinced. It's really sick that they're doing this. Okay. And then he's claiming that he's going to be killed for exposing this. And yeah, that's what you tuned in. It was, they found some woman who, initially the address was blah, 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 East something. And then it had changed last week in the system to West. The East changed from West. And that's enough to make them think that this election was stolen. But the people who watch this, they don't understand.
I included the video. You don't have to watch it because it's boring, but just look at his comments section. Does
the comment section eat it all up?
Yes.
They believe it all. The people who watch Crowder are a special group. Let's see this. What are we reading here? Because I didn't look at this. What should we be reading?
The stuff that we just said is what
this should be a concern to every legal citizen who voted. I mean, this is what they're still talking about, voter fraud. And they found, again, 20 people. And this is what they do daily. 20 people with the wrong address in the system isn't what swayed the election. I mean, how many votes did Trump lose by? Hundreds of thousands, right?
I'm sure.
So until you get over the 100,000, then we could talk. But 20 votes, and you're trying your hardest, and every organization on the planet has looked into this and found no fraud, and you yourself have only found 20 instances of wrong addresses and misspelled. That's a margin of error that happens every time.
And to pretend like you're going to be killed for
and
saying
to pretend
this so
that you're going to be killed
to see is unbelievable.
So that people rush, and Crowder
the
knows
brothers
better.
Aren't even after you.
Everybody knows better. But they're going to go on with this. And what do you think's going to happen? That they really thought that Biden was going to be arrested on election day. And are you out of your mind? You are. So that's what Crowder is doing. Dave Landau has joined Crowder. Let's pray for their arrests. We've got the full coverage on this. Cumia is not happy. Huge rift